Columbus, Ohio, 1997. Jerry Eckman is sitting in his Pro Stock Pontiac warming up the oil. The crew is moving around the car. The engine has not been fired down the track. The car has not been to tech inspection. He hears a hiss, then a pop. Then the dry sump tank explodes, and a nitrous bottle that nobody had told him was there shoots across the pit lane. He had never even fired the system. He had never been to tech inspection. And he just got banned from NHRA for 15 years. Now imagine the team that did fire it for years and never got caught. This is the cheat NHRA couldn't find. This is how they did it. And this is the reason you've never heard the full story. To understand what happened, you have to understand Pro Stock in the early 1990s. These cars run 500 cubic inches, naturally aspirated, no turbos, no superchargers, no nitrous, just compression, fuel, and air. 1,300 horsepower at 8,500 RPM, the closest racing class in motorsports. The rules are simple. If we catch you with a power adder, you're done. Then in 1990, a team out of Wayne County, Indiana starts winning. And they don't stop. Daryl Alderman, Scott Jeffrian, the Wayne County Speed Shop. Fans called them the Dodge Boys. 3 Pro Stock championships in 5 years. Black and white Dodge Avengers. No major sponsor for half their run. They beat Ford. They beat Chevy. They beat Warren Johnson, the most analytical engine builder in drag racing. And they did it in conditions that didn't make sense. In 1994, Warren Johnson sat down with a calculator. He ran the air density numbers for Bandimere Speedway in Denver, Colorado. 5,200 feet of elevation, thin air, less oxygen. Johnson knew exactly how much horsepower a 500 cubic inch naturally aspirated motor could make at that altitude. The Dodge Boys ran a tenth quicker than his math said was possible. Not once. 3 years in a row. Johnson said it on the record. The numbers were impossible. Something else was in those engines. NHRA's senior vice president, Graham Light, called the accusations nonsense and fiction. 3 months later, somebody confessed. Rusty Glidden, son of Bob Glidden, a 10-time Pro Stock world champion. Driver of a Ford Probe in Pro Stock at the time. In December 1995, Rusty walked into a Superstock magazine interview and explained exactly how to hide a nitrous oxide system on a car that gets torn down after every race. He wasn't speculating. He was running it. Here is how it worked. The holding tank was the rear weight bar. Pro Stock cars have to carry hundreds of pounds of ballast in a steel bar at the back of the chassis to make minimum weight. NHRA weighs that bar. They tap it, they check it for hollow spots. They don't check it for liquid nitrous oxide. From the weight bar, the line ran forward, up over the axle housing, through the chassis, all the way to the front of the engine bay. And it stopped at the motor plate. The motor plate is a thick aluminum slab that bolts the engine to the frame. You stare at one, and it looks solid. Rusty's was rifle drilled, hollow. The nitrous line ran through the motor plate itself. From there, it went up into one of the tubes that hold the hood scoop on. Same trick. That tube looked like structural steel. It was a delivery line. At the top of the scoop, 2 stainless steel jets, 29 thousandths of an inch each, sat directly over the carburetors. Now here is the part that made it untouchable. Rusty's system required 4 things to activate, all at the same time. The shock switch, on. The engine, running. And the throttle, fully open. A tech inspector walks up to the car in the staging lanes. He turns on the ignition. He opens the throttle. Nothing happens. The system stays dormant. The only time the nitrous could flow was at full throttle, on the track, under load. NHRA tech inspectors had been staring directly at it for 2 seasons. They never found a thing. Rusty said the system was worth 90 horsepower and 120 foot-pounds of torque at 7,000 RPM. He said he went to Indianapolis, did not qualify, skipped a race, came back with the system at Topeka. Qualified 7th, he could have qualified 1st. But the Glidden system was the second most ingenious cheat in Pro Stock that decade. The Dodge boys ran something different. Now, nobody from Wayne County has ever confirmed any of this on the record. The team denies it to this day. NHRA never charged them with anything. But here is what people inside the sport say happened in the Wayne County trailer. Every Pro Stock team uses a Pro Jack. It's a hydraulic lift that raises the car between rounds for tire changes, gear swaps, between round maintenance. The lift bars contact the chassis at specific cross members. People say the Wayne County Pro Jack had a grease Zerk fitting plumbed through the lift bars themselves. The cross member on the car had the matching coupler. When the car went up on the jack, those two fittings mated together, and an AN3 nitrous line hidden inside the trailer's air compressor hose recharged the tank on the car, right there in the open pit lane, mid-race weekend. Between rounds, recharging from a nitrous bottle that lived inside the trailer. From there, same delivery method as Rusty's system, rifle-drilled motor plates, reportedly built by the same engine shop that supplied Glidden's hardware. Same point, 0 to 9-inch jets, same architecture, the same shop, built for two different teams. NHRA never connected the dots, but there was one piece of evidence the cameras caught. And once you know what to look for, you cannot unsee it. 1994 U.S. Nationals. Darrell Alderman's Dodge Avenger backfires on the starting line. A column of fire shoots 4 feet straight up out of the hood scoop. Mike Thermos, founder of Nitrous Oxide Systems, the man who built the entire nitrous industry, was at that race. His exact words, "I'd seen those backfires many times over at IHRA, with the nitrous cars. Pro Stock backfires were never as severe as that." He knew. Everyone in the pits knew. The next year, Alderman's car backfired again at the Fram Southern Nationals. Same flame pattern, same nitrous signature. Word in the pit says NHRA went to the Wayne County Speed Shop and told them, at the next race, you are getting a complete teardown. Engines, blocks, heads, everything. They never made it to that race. May 17th, 1995, somebody chainsawed a hole through the back wall of the Wayne County Speed Shop. They walked inside with a sledgehammer. Every single engine in that building got smashed. Water jackets crushed. Oil galleries cracked open. Distributors broken. Intake manifolds destroyed. 6 brand new $6,000 Pro Stock blocks. Beaten in. They didn't touch the trailer. They didn't touch the cars. They didn't touch the machinery sitting 6 feet away. $500,000 of CNC equipment. Just the engines. NHRA called it vandalism. Years later, those engines surfaced. A pro mod racer bought what was left of them. He took them to Pat Musey, one of the most respected engine builders in drag racing. Musey put them on the dyno. They were down 70 to 80 horsepower from where a Pro Stock motor of that era should have been. That's roughly the difference nitrous would account for. Warren Johnson said it on record. Quote, NHRA was a co-conspirator in that whole program. Wayne County ran nitrous for too long, and it was too obvious. And NHRA, with its financial investment and with Chrysler being the dictator there, they were obviously co-conspirators. Chrysler had naming rights on multiple events. Mopar Advertising paid for a significant portion of NHRA's revenue. If they suspended the team publicly, they embarrassed their biggest sponsor. So they didn't. The break-in did the work for them. The Dodge boys missed the rest of 1995. They withdrew from 1996. By the time they came back, the engines they could legally build weren't fast enough. Alderman got a few wins over the next 10 years. Jeffrian was released in 2001. Alderman was released in 2004. The team that won 3 championships in 5 years never won another. And then there's Eckman. 2 years after the Wayne County break-in, Bill Orndorff put a nitrous bottle in Jerry Eckman's dry sump tank without telling him. Same circuit, same class, same era. Orndorff was running out of money. The Pennzoil sponsorship was gone. He needed a hit. He needed it fast. The bottle was never plumbed. It was never hooked up. There was no system. Orndorff had no idea how nitrous even worked. Eckman warmed up the oil. The pressure spiked. The safety disc popped. The dry sump tank exploded. $25,000 fine. 2-year suspension that turned into 15. Eckman never knew the bottle was in his car. If 3 teams got caught, Glidden's son, the Wayne County operation, and a guy who didn't even know there was a bottle in his car, how many didn't? If you want to know which other teams in the 1990s pulled this off and never got named, subscribe. We're going there next.